Hero. I know y'all missed us. The Open Task Podcast has returned. Calvin Smith, Joe Carlos. Joe, what's up, brother?
Hey, man, how you doing today? Hello.
Joe's about to hit these streets, man. And by hit these streets, I mean hit the air. He's about to do some traveling. But we would be remiss.
Traveling.
We'd be remiss if we didn't say we missed y'all too, man. And I hope y'all caught up on some of the old work. Downloaded some of the episodes. While y'all are traveling, this is a tip I got for y'all. You know what I mean? If you don't want to pay the $8.99 for the Wi-Fi on your plane, download some episodes before you get on the plane, and then you'll have them playing while you go on your flight, and you'll hear us drop some jewels about your favorite movie, or your favorite TV show, or your favorite album. You know what I mean? So we back though. We back like Cook Crack, and we are excited because this is a film that we've quoted so many times, just innocuously, like just in regular conversation. And we love this film. This is a very special film for me and my family. And it goes back to 1986. John Carpenter, the great John Carpenter. His great action comedy, fantasy, martial arts, you name it, film Big Trouble in Little China. Joe.
Yeah.
Joe, it's a great film.
What's up, brother?
I'm not gonna interrupt. It's crazy because we both love this film. It wasn't on either one of our lists, and we were trying to, full disclosure, we've been scheduling a guest and everything like that. It's been kind of crazy, and we were like, look, we need to get something out here, and this is something that we both love, and we got to talk about this movie, man. We got to talk about this movie. 1986, John Carpenter. Joe, where were you when you saw it? What was your anticipation like? What was your Big Trouble in Little China journey?
I was at home, man. When I saw it, I was at home, and I don't know why. I don't know why I watched it. It was on one day on HBO at home in 1986. I was going into the 6th grade, 86, 87 school year, and I don't know the date. I'm trying to find the date, the release date.
July 2nd. Oh wow!
Get out of here.
July 2nd.
No. Yeah. Wow. 35th anniversary today. This is perfect. This is amazing.
We didn't do this on purpose,
look at it. I mean, so many things came out like July 1st or July 2nd. I just want to. So many movies came out July 1st or July 2nd, and Boomerang always jumps out. For me, we've already discussed that, but so this is really cool. July 2nd is 86. I probably didn't see it. I don't think till about 88 or 89. I don't think I saw it till then.
Sure.
But I definitely saw it on HBO, and we re-recorded it. So we have probably like 4, community property VHS tapes. And this was on one of the longer play ones. I don't know where we got it from. I think my friend Mitch Vaughn gave me a tape of an episode of Wonder Years.
I know Mitch.
And yeah, you've met Mitch. Yes. Good guy. Dr. Mitch Vaughn. Yes. And he gave me a tape of the Wonder Years, and and we just kept recording beyond the Wonder Years. And so it was on that. It was on one of those tapes. I'm gonna say like a TDK or it was on something high level, but nice. It was so cool. And we weren't really into kung fu that much, but it was very, very cool to watch. And the the fighting. What for us, I mean, if I saw it at 88 or 89, I was like 14, 15 years old. So the fighting was big for me. And I know for my brother, it was, who was always trying to be a kung fu kind of master guy, but only from movies and television shows. Sure. So neither of us ever studied. And so I studied, martial arts. So having said beyond the Karate Kid, those movies you're doing. So having said that, it was very cool. Obviously for us, we didn't really know Kurt Russell at the time. So I was like 14, 15. So I didn't know about the Escape from New York. I didn't know about Escape from LA. I didn't know about any of that that stuff. I didn't even know if Kurt Russell. Actually, we should have known him from any number of other things prior to that, like Disney stuff. But we just didn't. We didn't associate the two. And I think that was done primarily, I guess, on purpose. That he was that scruffy, and and I think it was done like that on purpose. But yeah, man, it was. It's kind of crazy to think this was 86, because it really kind of has a more late 80s feel to it. But yeah, and it's very rare you find movies other than Dirty Harry in the Mac set in the Bay, even though they shot in LA, but it's set in the Bay. So yeah, I was 1988, 1989 on HBO, and then we watched it like once a week for the remainder of high school for me. Nice. So I was either 8th or 9th grade, but I pretty much saw it once a week for the next 3-4 years.
Nice.
But what about you? When did you first see it?
So I watched this movie in the summer of 1987, and that was a summer. Nice. I think I've mentioned this before. It was a pretty traumatic summer for us because it was the summer my parents got divorced. Right. And we spent that summer in Meridian, Mississippi with my grandparents. And they had cable, and that was one of the comforts, the solaces of a rough summer, is that we watched everything. We watched Lucas, we watched Karate Kid Part 2, we watched Howard the Duck, Back to the Future. Yeah, man, we watched it all. So, but this was my favorite movie that summer. Like, I was so excited about. I too was kind of new to Kurt Russell. I had not seen any of his earlier films. I know he, in hindsight, I see that he had worked with John Carpenter a lot before this. But those movies were not on my radar, like you said.
No, so we weren't.
This is my introduction to Kurt Russell, and like he was it for me, man. Like for a long time, he was like even more than Sylvester Stallone, and even more than Schwarzenegger for a little bit. He was my action hero, which is weird. Because, like, he's not, but he's not your traditional action star. I mean, he went on to do Tango and Cash and a bunch of other stuff after this.
Tango and Cash, baby.
Yeah. But
Tequila Sunrise.
Yeah, man. But this movie, man, like, I mean, like you said, how you watched it every week. We watched it literally. I used a little HBO guide, find out when it was on, and I watched it every single time I possibly could. It was just. From start to finish, it was amazing. It was a nice, it's quick. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel as long. It's 99 minutes.
No, it happens in like 2 days.
And it doesn't feel like 99 minutes at all. It feels like, an hour.
They never slept. Yeah, it feels like an hour. And they never slept in that film. Like, man. They never slept. It happens in 2. I'm going to say 3. I want to get your opinion on how. I'll ask you later as we get into the. Okay. As we get into
kind of the timing of it.
Yeah, but the meat of it happens in 2 days.
Yeah. It's one of those films that, like, if you watch it as a kid, especially, and it ages well. That's the like, and watching it. And I took your advice. I listened to the commentary. And hey, man,
I got that advice. I got that advice from my brother, who was like, "Oh, you've got to listen to this commentary." And when I did, I was just on the floor laughing, like, "Oh my gosh!" And I hated it. I'd love to see, like, they need to do this needs to be Criterion. And for because they were so ahead of their time in any number of ways. And one is the depiction of Asian Pacific Islander people. And in film. And so for that reason alone, and then going back and getting any of those key characters to come back and speak about that experience, because I think it's important. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Absolutely. No. I mean, you're right, Joe. I think that we really need, like, kind of an oral history. So, and maybe that exists. I mean, I didn't do.
It may exist. I didn't
do a whole lot of research like we usually do for this one.
If it does, bro. Oh, gosh.
I would love to. So, if anybody's listening and knows about it, let me know. Because I definitely. There we go for Nina and Shay. They love it. They love
Yes.
it. They love it. Nina's on her way to LA to see Shay tomorrow, man. So
Nice.
this is the
Nice.
travel season. But anyway, man. So yeah, that was my story about it, man. Really, and it really that summer, like I said, a lot of rough stuff happened, but that's definitely a highlight. And when I told Nina and Shay we were doing this show today, Shay asked, she was really young, so she doesn't remember. But Nina definitely was like, "Oh, I love, this is our favorite." And I was like, "Yeah, this is the one, man." So I want to jump into little things, Joe, because there's a lot of little things in this film. What little things stand out to you?
Well, one of them was the time, and when I watched it this time, and I'm gonna guess, I haven't watched this movie 1,000 times. I've probably started this movie. I mean, completely. I know I've started it 1,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
I have not finished it 1,000 times. I'm there, but I've started it at least 1,000 times. So this past time when I watched it yesterday, or Wednesday, and then finished it. Well, Wednesday, yesterday, and then today. Mm-hmm. But I knew, I was like, okay, I know how it's ending, but whatever. One of the things I was noticing and paying attention to was the amount of time that the story takes. Okay. And so a little thing for me is how quickly this thing escalates. The story escalates for the big trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
And so they're up all night. Jack Burton is a truck driver, long truck for the Pork Chop Express. He pulls into Chinatown, and he knows Wang because Wang has a restaurant, and so he brings food to Wang's restaurant, and with his Uncle Chu, and so anyway, long story short, they know each other there, and then all this stuff happens. It's like, hey, they have a night of drinking and gambling, which is something that seems like they normally do,
right?
And they're friends. Racial differences aside, that's in the film. A couple of Americans, but that's a quote from the film. So it goes from that. Then they go to the airport. Then the craziness happens at the airport. Then they go back to the restaurant. And oh no, excuse me. Then they from there they go to try to get her the girl back, and all these things happen. But it's like let's just say Thursday night he rolls into town. They play till morning. He loses a bet, so he's got to go pay him. So he's got to go back to the restaurant to pay him. He's like, well, before we go to the restaurant, I got to go
pick up Mao Yen.
The airport to pick up Mao Yen. So they do that. Let's just say Friday morning. By Friday at noon or 1 or 2, truck's gone. It's truck's stolen. They see a funeral that turns into like this major fight. They see this 7-foot tall specter of a guy. I mean, they just see this thing. And it's like, what in the world is happening? And then later that night, they're trying to get her back still. Then the next day, later that night, and the same night, they still break into the Wing Kong to the trading company. And they're there that night. It's like, what in the world? They never slept, man. No. It was a marathon.
Yeah.
It was a marathon. And I'm weird, so I'm different. So when I would watch
different, not weird.
No, I'm okay, I'm different. So when I would watch Scooby-Doo, and they'd be in the Mystery Machine, and the things would happen overnight. I'm like, did they go to sleep? Like, did they rest? Because they have a van. Right. Did they rest? Is Shaggy back there taking a nap? I know Scooby's a dog, so they sleep. I always wonder that. Like, but in this film, they don't rest.
No.
And so that's a little thing for me. It's like there's no time accountability thing. It's just they're on the go from the moment they're at the airport. They're on the go till the end. And so then I'll ask you later about time at the end. But so that's one of the little things for me. Okay. Another thing is the way that the Chinese and Chinese American customs, the Chinese American people, they are not concerned in any way, shape, or form with anything other than their own culture. And I thought that was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make them not American, but there's a certain way that they were just really honed in on culture and tradition and respect in that regard. And I thought that was it's a little thing that stood out for me.
Sure.
That I thought was beautiful. And this is prior to Joy Luck Club. This is prior to a lot of things. And there hadn't been such a positive portrayal of Asian American, Asian Pacific Islanders, or Chinese people, or just Asian Pacific Islanders on film that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
And where there hadn't been such a positive portrayal before. And one final thing, it's the one-liners, man. There's a zillion one-liners, and so those stick out for me as well.
Absolutely.
And one last little thing. Sorry, I thought he was wearing Ray-Bans the whole time, and he wasn't. So Jack was not wearing. They looked like Wayfarers, but they weren't Ray-Bans. Huh. So I zoomed in today, and I realized, because Ray-Bans, they say Ray-Ban on the side.
Sure.
I got to check to see what they were like in the mid 80s. I'm going to do that. But there was no Ray-Ban on the lens. There was no Ray-Ban on the side.
So let me ask you this: you're a Texas guy. Was Buc-ee's a thing back then, or when did Buc-ee's come about?
No, Buc-ee's wasn't. That's like the 2000s.
Okay. So I imagine you probably picked those shades up at some truck stop somewhere.
Yeah, but he's a truck driver. But they look just like. I mean, they look just like them.
They did.
And they even had the bend, like the Wayfarer. There's a way Wayfarers kind of sit off your face. Yeah. They even have that. But I got to go back and I'm going to Google 1985 Ray-Ban Wayfarers and see what I get. And if they didn't have the insignia, then they may as well be. They probably are Wayfarers.
I wonder if him wearing those shades then led to John Carpenter kind of, sparking the seed for They Live later on.
Maybe so.
I don't know. It's a crazy reach, maybe, but that's yeah, man. I never noticed that either, man. It like, you would think they would be Ray-Bans or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
All right. So what are little things for you?
Little things for me. So, as a video gamer, I was a Street Fighter guy, and I heard of a game that was tearing up the arcades called Mortal Kombat. And I go see Mortal Kombat, and I see this character Raiden, and I'm like, oh shit, these guys must have seen that movie that I love, Big Trouble in Little China, and thought enough of this movie to make a character from it. So because I always like out of the three storms, Lightning was my favorite by far. You know what I mean?
Why is that?
He's just like the hand movements and everything, like how he was incorporating his little, his vest, which was like a conductor and all this kind of thing, like just just the destruction he caused.
Yeah, he was a badass.
Yeah, he was badass. He was a badass. I mean, and I guess since I broached this subject in order, it's lightning, then thunder, then rain. Like Thunder was probably built to be the main one with his explosive temper, literally.
Yes.
And Rain, I don't think Rain got his due. Like, you never really saw what Rain was about necessarily, except for in the big sword fight at the end. You know what I mean?
He was just kind of, he was different, but yeah. I mean, he just like you said, it was in the big sword fight.
But these elemental warriors, and particularly Lightning, were just amazing. I love, that was what really captured my imagination watching it the first few times. It's like just seeing these elemental warriors fighting on the side of this mystical, horrible this guy Lopan, man. That and the differences between like the old man persona Lopan and the demonic Lopan, just, and the fact that the old man Lopan basically was like just a regular business dude in Chinatown, just existing, and nobody really, I guess, questioned or knew about the Wing Chang exchange or whatever, Wing Kong exchange, and this guy that just was basically Immortal that was running it. Like it just was,
2,000 years old.
Right, 2,000 years old, man. Like it's crazy. And then other little things for me are like the dialogue, the snappy dialogue between Jack Burton and Gracie Law. Very, very Howard Hawks esque this dialogue between the two of them, and just it's kind of a throwback to those old 50s films where you have these characters doing these things and talking to one another in such a way, and the partnerships and the different hookups that occur, like old girl Kate Burton. What was her name in the movie? Margot and Victor and Eddie. Yeah, Margot and Eddie. You got Wang and Malian. We got Jack and Gracie. Like just the couples and relationships and things going on, and the dynamics there. Just really and the dialogue was so snappy and so good. It felt like more than just an action flick. You know what I mean? And that was that. I guess I hadn't seen very many films that were like that had that balance of action, because this definitely is action all the way. But the little romances and everything like that were very very, very key. And then one last thing, and this is kind of more of like almost like a TV connection, but it strikes me as funny, is my man my man Jack's behavior in the brothel.
Henry Swanson's my name. And what does he say?
So let me ask you, Joe. Let me ask you this, and I know you hate when I do these guessing games like this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. HBO TV show had a very similar scene where a character who I consider to be a pretty suave character has to go into a brothel and pretend to be somebody else.
Jimmy McNulty.
Yeah, man. Like the parallels there are just so good to me. Like,
but McNulty was far more relaxed than
spot on
than Kurt was. Than Kurt was. Than Jack Burton was. Yeah, that was Jimmy McNulty.
Spot on.
Without question. I thought you were going to give me I thought you were going to say something from Hung. I didn't know where you were going to come from with that one, but yeah.
No, not from Hung. No.
Okay.
But yeah, man. So that there's that as well, man. Who's your unsung hero from the film?
Well, I mean, it's easy. There's two. There's two. Okay. But I mean, the easy one obviously is Victor Wong as Egg Shen. And I want to tell you something about Victor Wong. He I read this once when I was looking something up for him about him. And oh my gosh, do you know he died? Oh, this is crazy. Okay. Anyway, Victor Wong's first wife was Olive Thurman Wong.
Okay.
Which, like, all right. And Olive Thurman was the daughter of Howard Thurman.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Welcome.
Joe.
Welcome.
He.
Yeah, and I don't know why I looked it up one day when I was watching the movie one day, and I think it was back when I lived in Smyrna in my apartment, and I was watching it on DVD, and I ran over to my computer, and I was like, IMDb, I want to know more about the guys. It's like 2006. This is like 2005, 2006, and I just had to know more, and I learned that about him. I was like, what in the world? What? Yeah. So, and the crazy thing was, this is another just interesting thing about him, but upon learning of the events of September 11, 2001, Wong and his wife Rose spent the day trying to get news of Wong's sons who lived in New York City. They were unharmed. After Rose went to sleep, Wong stayed up to continue to follow the news. He died of a heart attack at some point during the morning of September 12th, 2001 at age 74.
Wow, man.
Wild.
That's wild. That's super wild.
Absolutely wild. I think he was so heartbroken by what happened. But Egg Shen is amazing. Every scene he's in, he steals it from the beginning. When he's like, they came here to create this beautiful Chinatown that you see this very morning, right?
Playing
to
chicken.
me, he's more quotable. He's more quotable to me than like anybody else. He had a cool bus. And
very bouncy.
Yeah, very bouncy, but it had doors on every side.
Yeah.
It just had doors all the way through. But his quotes are great. His knowledge and wisdom is outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
He's clutch. He never backs down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still curious as to how he got out, because, but he did get out. But like, how did he get out of there? Because everybody else, like, how did all of them get out? We only really see the four of them get out. But anyway, I thought he was great, and he knew what to do and how to do it, and he'd been trying to do this for a long time, and this was it,
Mm-hmm.
And so it starts with him. The movie starts with him,
mm-hmm.
and it's sitting there with his lawyer from Bedini, Lambert, and Locke.
Nice.
and
Zing.
Zing. And actually it was Lambert, Bedini, Lambert, and Locke, and he I just thought everything he had, his quips were great. Mm-hmm. The way he would joke with Jack, which is outstanding.
Yeah,
rain, fire, all that kind of thing. But I thought so. He's one, and number two, of course, is Wang. I mean,
yeah,
Wang is the hero, but he's an unsung hero because of Kurt, because of Jack Burton, because of
he was a good foil.
He was, but I think you have to watch it to realize, like, Jack didn't. I mean, he did come through in the end
by accident.
But he really did it. He caught it.
Oh yeah, it was all in the reflexes. Yeah, sure.
But
sure,
I mean,
sure.
yeah, it was all in the reflexes. But I mean, Wang took care of everything else. I mean, he literally took care. Anyway.
No, you're right. You're right. No, I got you.
So
Wang set up the plot. He
was a hell of a fighter.
Yeah,
he was a lot more than a guy who owned a restaurant. So that's how I felt about it.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Who are your answer? Oh, go ahead.
Mine is Lopan, David Lopan, man. The menace that he has, the backstory of him losing this, I guess, this ancient duel, and becoming incorporable, whatever the word is. You're more.
He becomes the dream.
He becomes the dream, and he's so close to meeting his he actually, it does come true for him. He gets his body back.
You're flesh. I am. Master, you're flesh.
It's pure glee and delight as he's getting, as he's becoming corporal.
Give it to me, my love. Yes.
Yeah, man. Just like the back and forth between him as the old man and the I guess presumably young man. And his swag, when he's fighting, as we quoted earlier in our pre-show talk, what do you say, peasant magic? He's a peasant. He's just doing little magic with his pinky fingers, man. He's like, man, Lopan was just the bomb for me. He was like the quintessential villain, and I'm a villain guy. I love the villains. He was was it Ice Cube that said I root for the villain in the movies, or no? MC Ren. It's MC Ren. It's like, I root for the villains. I love Lopan. I watch, when I was a kid, I used to watch it just again to see maybe if Lopan might have won one of those times. Never did. But
he did not win. It
did not win. But
no.
I mean, had two green-eyed women. He's like, what's better than one green-eyed woman? Two. Man, he was a greedy bastard. He was going.
He was that.
Sacrifice one and stay with the other one. Because why not, man? He ran a whole.
Because you could.
Hey, ran a whole exchange. Had the dopest henchman in any movie ever. With
the
elementals, man, and his wedding was dope. If I ever get married again, highly unlikely, but if it happens, I want some dudes like swinging swords and doing some,
okay.
doing
That
some.
can get expensive.
Ah, man,
You could
real quick.
you could also watch. You could also screen this. You could also screen.
have it playing at the reception. And,
Just have it playing. I mean, you own the DVD.
Had the dope like the setup with the escalator and the skull.
Yeah,
and,
they have an escalator like down in the bottom of the thing. Like that's the thing. He had an escalator built with a skull head, and like what do they do down there? What do they do? What do they do
after he gets married? Right, like
not only that, like what is the purpose of that room? Are there ritualistic things happening in that room? Like, because they're a gang.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
but do they need to meet down there?
Right,
because these gangs are really out in the open.
Right.
I just wonder.
So yeah, man, Lopan and I've already spoke of Lightning and Thunder. I really got to give a shout out to Thunder and his just grief at the loss of Lopan at the end, and
John Carpenter at his best when the guy goes when he goes from real life to like buffoonish cartoonish thing in a moment. Then you forget, like you remember, like, oh yeah, this is a John Carpenter movie. Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
it's got to be a little silly.
There was something else that happens with Thunder. Like, was he the one that had Jack and Wang on the wheelchairs, like in the
yeah
okay.
Come over here and fight like a man. No, I'm thinking it was him.
I think I'm pretty sure it was him. He did most of the dirty work. He was like,
But I would think he would have punched them instead of taking a sphere and blowing it at them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But the mysticism, man, and then like the little eyeball thing, man. How freaked out were you about the eyeball?
Very freaked out when he opened his mouth
and he had a tongue with an eyeball on it.
Well, if you think about it, they got that from Star Wars.
They did.
Darth Vader had one of those. Remember that thing that floated around, a little black thing?
Yeah, sure.
That floated around, but that was disgusting. That thing.
Yeah. And then I'll come back to this later, man, because I have questions about about the orangutan looking creature thing, man. Whatever that was.
Scary.
Yeah. So yeah, man. Who else is I got to give a shout out to Kim Cattrall, who was in the heart of her comedic. Like this
she was on a run,
mannequin, right? It's pre-mannequin.
No, it's not. This is like, if it is, was Mannequin 87? Because if it was, check to see when
Mannequin was 87.
So okay, well, this is in the run. Yeah, Police Academy.
Then City Limits, Big Trouble in Little China, and then Mannequin.
She's on a run at that point.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
De Niro.
Yeah. And like, that's why for me it was so shocking to see her as a sex pot in Sex in the City, because like for me she was this comedic actress. Like, I mean, it was hard for me to until it wasn't.
But she was sexy in those in several of those roles.
Sure.
I mean, she definitely had sex appeal. I felt. I mean, she was the love interest for Gutenberg in Police Academy.
Sure.
And then, but in this, that's not really. It's over 2 days. I mean, it's not really her thing. And she's like, you're the outside. She makes it abundantly clear to Kurt Russell's Jack Burton that he is the outsider. He does not live there. She does live there among the Chinese people, among the Chinese American people. And she lives there. She works there.
She's trouble.
And
she's a lawyer.
Yeah, she's trouble. She's a lawyer, right? And I thought there was obviously, I mean, they had a mutual. He actually had a mutual. They had an attraction from the beginning.
Yeah.
He just smelled bad. That was all it was.
Yeah, man. But she had.
He'd been drinking all night, and he'd been drinking all night and gambling all night.
Yeah,
so of course
she had an innocence about her, I guess, is what it was. Like, like, and especially like this in Mannequin. Like, she definitely.
She was a mummified. She was a spirit. I mean, she wasn't. She was mummified in a mannequin.
Yeah.
So that was of course a.
This will probably be
you one sick puppy.
This will probably be our only discussion about Mannequin, by the way, on the Open Task podcast. So you guys that are Mannequin fans,
you're right. It probably will be, but can you imagine who was in that movie? I mean,
Meshach Taylor. That was Meshach. Oh no, it was TK. Was it TK Carter or Meshach?
No, it was Meshach. That's
okay,
definitely it's Meshach as Hollywood.
Okay.
The
great
my main man,
Andrew
my main
McCarthy.
man Harris. Andrew McCarthy.
Harris, Lieutenant Harris. Hey. Shout out to Lieutenant Harris, man.
Shout out to Lieutenant Harris. James Spader.
Some good James Spader in this. It's actually Mannequin.
It's a weird change for Spader. It's a weird, Mannequin may be worth and you talk about summertime HBO movies.
Yeah.
You talking about made for binging on HBO.
Yeah.
Some
good. Estelle Getty, right?
And Estelle Getty, yes.
Estelle Getty, yes. Yeah.
Where was that? I got to find out where that was made. I think it was made in I got to find out where that was made because it's not. That was not a Hollywood picture.
Jonathan Switcher.
Who?
Jonathan Switcher. That was his name. That was his name in Mannequin.
Like when you get fired. Your check. Get your check. Here's your check. Here's your check. He just start working and he'd still get fired. It was so weird.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But
yeah, man. And then one last is just a shout out to Kate Burton, aka Vice President. She was the Vice President in Scandal, right? Wasn't she the Vice President in Scandal? Did you watch Scandal?
I did not watch it enough.
Didn't watch Scandal?
No, she was the mom on. No, she was the mom. She's married
Grey's
to Grey's
Anatomy.
Mom.
Yeah,
she's married to Grey's
Ellis Gray, Dr. Ellis Gray. Yeah, man. I call on Grey's Anatomy quite a bit in my teaching. When I'm teaching about LVADs and how Izzy cut Denny's LVAD. My medical students learn a lot about medicine through pop culture.
Interesting.
For better or worse.
Probably for worse, but
a lot of pop culture references. Well, they never forget it. You know what I mean? They never forget it. But
I'm sure.
Margot is, she did a little something in this film as well. She was there.
She was around. She was around. They shot that movie in Philly. I knew it was not that was not a LA picture.
It's not LA or New York.
No, New York. I thought maybe it was Chicago because it looked like it was at Marshall Fields or something like that. They shot that in Philly. But yeah, I don't know, man. This movie is so zany and silly and funny, but with a heart.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably what makes it such a cult classic.
Yeah, sure.
That would cause one to paint the picture behind me.
It's magnificent, by the way.
Oh,
that's magnificent, especially the hats. I looked for a straw hat like that for a long time. With the chin strap. So much anger, so much. I mean, they were destroying things then, man. It was just, those storms were wild, man. Coming into the brothel on a lightning bolt, and and the music. All right, so time out. Can we talk about how great John Carpenter does not get enough props? He does all of his music. He did Halloween, that theme from Halloween.
Really?
Yeah,
really? I didn't know. John
Carpenter. And so the theme song from the movie is his group, the Coupe de Villes. It's him and two other guys.
Really?
Yes. John Carpenter is, he doesn't get enough props as a director, as someone who, a filmmaker, who has his hands in all parts of the film. You know what I mean? He really, he owns it. And the music is just fantastic. It's not like, your typical kung fu type of soundtrack. It has that kind of rock and roll background to it. You just feel the undertone of it, the score, you know what I mean? It's just, and it's all John Carpenter. He did it. He did it pretty much by himself.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, man.
I'm looking at it now. It says, he wrote it. I'm looking at what you saw. And
because all right, so you talked about you being different. I'm different too, because one of my soundtracks, one of my playlists that I have, the 5-star playlist, I have 2 different tracks from the Halloween soundtrack. Halloween 1978 is it's that that music is playing. Dun, 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 dun. Like it's not quite the theme of it. But it's the kind of like when they're walking up the street, like the one that's playing, like when he comes out of the bushes or whatever. I'm doing a horrible job of explaining what it is, but it's one of those tracks, like it just sets the tone for the film. And that's his original thing. And then, I mean, like the Halloween theme itself, man, like there used to be a wrestler. I used to watch WCW wrestling. I think it was like Norman the Lunatic or somebody would come out to the Halloween music, and it was just perfect, man. John Carpenter, and the thing as well, like his scores in his films are just great, man.
Well, you gotta appreciate taking the time, like he did, taking the time. I mean, it's all a big deal to him.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way. It's all a big deal.
Yeah.
And when I say a big deal, I guess what I'm trying to say is he wanted to control every aspect of his film and make sure that it was, of any of his films, obviously, and make sure that they were living up to his vision. And so I think when you go that far and you're creating the music, because I mean, I would have thought it was some Danny Elfman.
Yeah, it sounds that way, right?
Honest. Yeah, it does. But I thought it was some Danny Elfman until you just told me that, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then, and here we are. And now, so I learned something today, thinking, because I really thought it was Danny.
Hey, but anytime I can teach you something, Joe.
Okay. Thank you, brother.
Man. So, not really any societal impact per se. I would think. Do you have anything to say there? Like,
no.
Yeah, I mean, it's a popcorn flick. You know what I mean? And sometimes you need that.
Actually, it was Rain that was in the.
They blew the thing.
They blew the thing. It was Rain.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry to kill that for you.
No, that's fine.
I just happened to see a picture here on IMDb, and
that's fine. Because he had
of the scene.
He had the ponytail.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah. Okay.
The Dragon of the Black Pool. That was seeing in the Black Pool is something we see later.
Yeah.
In the film.
Yes,
yes. We see, because that's the black blood of the earth. No. I mean the black blood of the earth. Okay.
Joe, what's your favorite scene in the flick?
Wow. I've been thinking about this all day, man. It's silly, but for me, my favorite scene is when they're drinking they take the drink before they go in for the big fight.
Yes.
And the dialogue between Jack and Egg.
Yeah.
And then Wang is just sitting there like the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm always thinking, like, what am I missing here? Like, what did he put in there? I don't know. Is it a enhancer of some sort? Is it I don't know what it is, or what he was putting in that.
I like to think that it's an Asian version of absinthe. That's what I like to think.
Okay.
I think, and Kublai Khan, a pleasure dome doth he creed.
Hey, all I know is whatever it was, they had the hot ice, they had the whole nine, and out of that scene you get the great toast to the colors of America, the colors that never won. No, to the Army and Navy and the battles they've won, to the colors of America, the colors that never run.
May the wings of
liberty never lose a feather.
It's fantastic, man.
Making no, and the two of them have like this understanding between them.
Yeah.
Because no one else was going to say that, and so that scene gave me all that.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite scene.
And the hell of boiling oil and the 6 demon bag, like
the 6 demon bag. Yeah,
there's a lot in that scene. There's a lot.
Oh yeah. So we have the 6 demons. All right. Okay. All right. He's looking around like, do y'all not hear this? Terrific.
Wind, fire, all that thing.
Wind, fire, all that kind of thing. I would say one of my favorite lines is what do you say? Like a courageous man likes the feel of a brave man likes the feel of nature on his face. And then that's what Wang tells Jack, and then Egg says, and a smart man knows to get out of the rain, and a wise man knows to get out of the rain.
Yeah,
as they're under the umbrella. But go ahead.
yeah.
I'm sorry. What's
Yeah,
your favorite?
no. My favorite scene is the final showdown between Jack Burton and David Lopan and Thunder and all those in the room with all the big Buddhists. And you know, I mean, because the whole time
that room is so cool though too. That room is amazing.
They call back to the reflexes, you know what I mean? When he catches the bottle.
It does. It's all in the reflexes.
You know, it's all in the reflexes, man. You know,
I never drive faster than I can see. And besides that, it's all in the reflexes.
It's all in the reflexes. Hey man, he's on the ham radio, just like Jack Burton. Can you imagine hearing these stories on the ham radio?
No, but I'm sure there's somebody right now doing their best Jack Burton, like right now.
Yeah.
Driving around the country.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, man. But like, you know, he catches it, you know, he misses the first time. Lopan throws it at him, catches it, and throws it right back, dead forehead, you know what I mean? And Lopan, boom, you know what I mean? Because he's flesh.
It would be akin to probably hitting him in the navel. I'm guessing. Because you put a knife in a navel, there's not really much. And please correct me.
No,
I got that. Yeah. I got that from The Contender, from the film The Contender.
It's a gut shot, man. That's you know.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about the side or anything. I'm talking about the navel.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, somebody, if you're stabbed here, you know that's
a wrap.
Yeah,
that's a wrap. That's a wrap. I mean, you know, frontal lobe, boom, and at the trajectory and speed to penetrate the skull, the way
gotta be fast.
Yeah, man. And you know, just that whole fight scene after that is just fantastic. You know, and he's like, I think this is the same scene where he's fighting Thunder, and he's like, you know what old Jack Burton says at a time like this, and Thunder's like, who? He's like, Jack Burton, me.
He had lipstick on his.
Yeah, man, he had the lipstick.
And the answer was, what the hell?
Yeah, man. Yeah. What the hell? Exactly, man. Jack Burton, man, coming true in the end. That was my favorite scene. Out of a lot of great. I mean, like the set pieces, the fight in the at the beginning, man, like between the Wing Kong and what was the other?
I can't remember the name.
Yeah, I don't want to mess it up, man. I don't want to mess
either.
it up. But yeah, that fight was fantastic. Just fantastic, man. You know, fantastic. Chang Sing.
The Chang Sing.
Yeah. And my guy, the crazy wild looking guy, like
from he's spinning like everything.
Yeah, man.
Wait, which one? The bald headed one or the one with the long hair?
The bald headed one. You know what I'm talking about? Okay. Like I think he had
he had like the
the
bunch of it,
man.
But there's another guy who's in that film. I gotta find his name. Keep going. I don't mean to interrupt, but he's in Big Trouble in Little China and he's in Lethal Weapon, and he is Al Leong. Oh my gosh, Al Leong is he was also in Die Hard. He is,
and it's Genghis Khan and Genghis Khan and Bill and Ted.
Yes, he's a legend.
Yeah,
Al Leong is a legend.
Actually, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about him.
Okay, you're talking about Al.
Yeah,
he is a legend, and he's in this film.
Yeah.
He's still alive. Oh, that's cool. He needs Born in St. Louis. He needs a. I don't know what they're going to do.
30 for 30 or something, man. Like,
man, he had brain cancer in '93 and suffered a stroke in 2005. It's probably we hadn't seen him in forever. Wow,
he's still around.
Yeah, but he made something in 2014. Wow, I had no idea. So yeah, 2005 was his last film. Man, that's unfortunate. Yeah, he's got to get a star on the Walk of Fame if he doesn't already have one. That's crazy, or at least some type of. That man has been a lot of films, a lot prolific. Of big time films. Extremely prolific actor. But yeah, he was he was in there. He died in that room. In that room that makes no sense to me. Like, what do they do down there? I'm so curious what they do down there.
Yeah,
but yeah,
they fight. They fight. And what about, like, all right, so there's so many different scenes in the film that I, like, you kind of forget about. Like, there's when the border's coming up and they're like in the all those dead bodies down there. like
Oh yeah, the hell where people are skinned alive, where they're
that
skinned
7,000
alive.
hells or something like that. Yeah,
yeah,
man.
it is that serious.
Yeah, man.
The hell of the upside down sinners.
Yes.
Yeah.
The wheelchair
Yes.
scene, like the wheelchair scene, and just the sheer strength to wheel himself back up, man. It's just like, so many great films scenes in this film that are fantastic. Do you have any nitpicks about this film, or any like things that you question?
No,
Yeah,
I don't. I mean, I literally suspend my belief and believe that oh well, it's not a nitpick. It's just like things escalate quickly.
Yeah.
And Jack Burton is just a truck driver. He's never killed anybody.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying he has not.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
when he does shoot somebody, and Eddie's like, "What? You never offed anybody before?" It's like, yeah, of course I have. He's got an Uzi. He kills somebody like the day before. Like the day before.
Yeah. He's just a run-of-the-mill truck driver.
He's just a run-of-the-mill truck driver. It's like Die Hard.
Yeah.
But at least he was a police officer.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But the day before, he's just a run-of-the-mill truck driver. And then that next day, he shot someone with an Uzi with and doesn't get in trouble for it. Just kills somebody.
Yeah.
And it's apparently it's perfectly fine to do that. And so, yeah, that is a little bit of a nitpick, or like a moment.
Yeah. Sure.
Because I was like, how do we get here? How do we get here that fast that you're killing people?
Yeah.
And then he's part of it, and he's just trying to get his truck back. Which he says over and over again, and he is serious. I'm trying to get my truck back. Yeah. And he gets around $5,000. Yeah. For his troubles. Yeah. And immortality there among those residents of Little China.
He's a legend. They owe him everything.
You leave him alone.
You leave him alone. I love that. So here's my question for you, Joe. Mm-hmm. What happens to Jack at the end?
I think Jack gets jacked up.
You think
yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's all bad. I think it's all bad.
Yeah, that monster gets in.
I think that monster gets jacked. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that monster gets jacked.
That's messed up, man.
How the monster was there, I'll never know. But they were still in Chinatown.
Yeah.
They were just in a different part of Chinatown. So the monster got out. They were still in Chinatown.
Yeah. And we see the monster get out, I think. We see him sneak out some kind of way on one of the scenes. Yeah.
I got to go back and find that.
Yeah.
Last time I remember seeing him is when they were downstairs.
Yeah, he escapes from there.
When she kicks him, he jumps out of nowhere and tries to attack him and Gracie. Yeah. And then Gracie kicks him, and then they get in the elevator and they kiss in the elevator. Mm. But then the next time we see the monster, to my knowledge, the next time we see them, and I could be completely wrong about this, the next time we see the monster, he's on the back of the truck at the end of the movie.
Yeah. And
but as a kid, I don't remember seeing that. I remember like, oh, the movie's over, I'm walking away. You know what I mean? Like whenever they're like at the restaurant theater. So this is my question to you, because we're here. This is my question to you. So the whole movie, the rest of the movie took 2 days. Mm-hmm. I watched this specifically today. Did he leave that same day, or was there at least a day in between that they're celebrating? Because Eddie's wearing new clothes. Margot has on new clothes.
Okay.
And they had no reason to change clothes. They weren't at the spot. They weren't at the Wing Kong exchange. So sure. I think there was at least another day. Okay. And Egg has his jacket back on. It's like his seersucker jacket on with stains on it. Everybody's like wearing something differently, including Dennis Dunn as Wang. Mao Yin is in something she brought in that box. And so I'm wondering what I really want to know is this is what I really want to know is after they dropped him off, do Jack, in your estimation, do Jack and Gracie go off and have a night together?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Jack. There's no way. Jack has a lot of pent up energy and aggression. There's no
So
way.
the question, and the reason I asked that is because so I'm with you. So in your opinion, you contend that everything happened. Let's say we in our minds, the story starts Thursday night. They're drinking all night Thursday. Friday is they go to the airport. The switch happens. They go to try to get her back. The truck gets stolen. They go to the restaurant. They go to the brothel. They go back to Gracie's. They then go back to the Wing. They go to the Wing Kong Exchange. They get out of the Wing Kong Exchange the next morning. Spring everyone. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, they spring everybody. Yeah. No, that's
spring right. Everybody but Gracie.
Right.
Then they no, that doesn't make sense. They went to the Wing Kong Exchange like 3 times because they went on their own.
Okay, they went on their own.
It says Cracker Jack timing, and then they went back. I thought they went back. No, because somehow Margot gets caught in there. Why? How does Margot get caught?
They were there at the same time. Remember, they went on the elevator with.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right.
With Thunder.
Okay.
Yeah,
with Thunder. Right. Come on, man. Give him a tour. Right. So that's still we're still at Friday.
Are we going up or down?
Feels like down. So we're still at Friday. So then Saturday. Yeah. So then the next thing happens Saturday, and then the all day Saturday is the wedding, and they get ready and they go and they climb through the thing and they get down there, and at some point Saturday, because when they come out it's daylight. So at some point Saturday, it's over. So I'm guessing Sunday. So then Saturday. So what we're saying is Saturday evening.
Nice.
Finally, Jack and Gracie get it on. Finally, have their moment.
Yeah,
and
those things have 3 days, 3-day half-life. So I think he's out of there Tuesday.
Okay.
I think
they're
he's
still celebrating on Tuesday.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right. That's my theory.
Okay.
That's my theory, man.
But I really, and I was trying to find that other timeline. But really, if you think, and I do agree with you, if you think that they did have their night, unlike Harper and Jordan, if you think they did have their night, then they had their night.
Yeah. Okay. I think so. I think my guy Jack Burton sealed the deal there. Like I said, there was a lot of pent up, what have you, there that needed to come out. So, yeah.
Okay.
Probably very mystical. Probably mystical and magical.
which gives the monster enough time to find the Pork Chop Express.
There you go.
Because Gracie lives in China. She lives around the corner.
Yeah.
See, he wouldn't have been on. They would have noticed him on the truck when they left. Right. That'd have been part of the thing. He'd have been sticking off the back. Some snuffleupagus looking thing would have been sticking off the back. But let a day or 2 or 3 pass, and he finds that he's laying low when no one else is out there and checking it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very believable. Very believable.
Yeah. So, Joe, where does this movie rank for you, man?
Oh, this is one of my all-time favorite movies to watch. Period.
But not finished.
Yeah, I don't have to finish. I usually fall asleep. I mean, it's like midnight, late at night, something like that. Yeah. It's not on TV as much. It's on Stars right now for everybody.
Yeah.
If you have Stars, please watch it. Please stream it. It's on Stars right now. I just did. It's there. And
if you can get the DVD, the Blu-ray, get the Blu-ray and listen to the director's.
Oh yeah, please do that. Please do that.
Won't be disappointed.
I'm gonna order it tonight. I'm gonna order that Blu-ray tonight. Because it's just too good. You shouldn't. Yeah, commentary is special. That's all I'm gonna say. But no, it ranks as one of my favorite films ever.
Yeah.
And I love it, and I love it more every time I watch it. And despite the fact that I know what's gonna happen, but I just keep loving it. Yeah.
Sure. So for me, it's my favorite John Carpenter film, and that's saying a lot because I love Halloween. I have a lot of Halloween love. I have a lot of The Thing love. I have a lot of belated because like I didn't watch Escape from New York until like way into my adulthood, but I enjoyed that as well. And They Live. I have a real special place in my heart for They Live, and how South Park had an homage to it during the cripple fight. Have you ever seen They Live?
No.
Oh, Joe.
Ali Young was in They Live as well.
And our man Keith David.
Of course. Keith David. Of course. He's had him a little career.
So you're a South Park fan though, right? Like not just the movie, but the TV
show. I mean, I am. I just haven't. It's been I just don't watch it that often. I don't really watch it that often.
So there's a scene in South Park. There's an episode called Cripple Fight, and there is a fight between Timmy and Jimmy, and it is shot for shot the same fight between Roddy Piper and Keith David. Roddy Piper's trying to get Keith David to put on the sunglasses and see, the truth. The sunglasses reveal the truth in that movie, and he refuses to put them on. They get into this fight, like this long drawn out fight with camera angles and everything like that. It's a fantastic fight. It involves a suplex. Like it's a great fight. And on South Park, they did a shot for shot remake of it. And Cartman's going around yelling "Cripple Fight" and gets people to come watch it, like from the grocery store. But anyway, I'm not doing it justice. It is fantastic. It's a great homage to that film. But yeah, it's my favorite John Carpenter film. I say all that to say favorite John Carpenter film, and it's also my second favorite Kurt Russell film. I'm a huge fan of Hateful Eight, and a lot of people don't like that film. I'm talking about Jeff Jones specifically, but I love the Hateful Eight, and so Hateful Eight is my favorite Kurt Russell role, and then this is next.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. I can understand that. I can see that.
So Joe, you're going out of town, man. You're to parts unknown, like the Ultimate Warrior. From parts unknown, weighing 325 pounds.
Yeah, we won't be recording next week.
But, we won't be recording next week. But I'm venturing out into unknown territory. We're gonna have a very, very special guest next week.
Absolutely.
My homie, one of my day one internet friends, turned to real life friend, turned to someone who has a lot of traction now in the world of Black journalism on the route. My good friend Monique Judge. We're going to discuss Boogie Nights. So nice. That's coming.
Yes,
that's coming for you guys. And Joe and I will be back when Joe gets his R&R on, comes back nice and refreshed. Maybe
we'll be back on the 15th. I look forward to it.
Some melanated, little bit of melanation. You already black, man. You know what I mean?
Just, I agree. We'll give you more.
Wear your sunscreen, brother. You know what I mean?
We'll do. Yeah, no question. Well, no question. We'll do. We'll definitely do that. But yeah, we'll be back. You and I will be back on the 15th, and I don't know what. We'll figure that out. We'll figure out what we're doing on the 15th. I'm thinking of a TV show though.
Okay.
Based in Los Angeles.
About that time.
Could be one of two.
Could be one of two.
On the roster there, but I'm thinking of a TV
show. I think I know where you're leaning though.
Based in Los Angeles. Yeah. But either way, my mind has been enabled. But but either way, hey man, we did Big Trouble in Little China, and look, if you haven't seen it, stop what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you need come on, you gotta get some Big Trouble in Little China in your life.
Quickest 99 minutes ever, man. Like it's
and you'll be like, oh, I'm in on the joke now. I can see it now. I get it now.
Yeah.
I just big fan of this film, and so I'm very happy that Calvin said, hey, we got to do a movie we talked about, never done. In my mind, I was like, Big Trouble in Little China. I didn't say anything, and then he said Big Trouble in Little China, which just shows the simpatico there.
Yeah.
And so I'm ecstatic that we were able to do it, and I'm very, very proud.
Yeah, we did it right.
Proud.
We did it right, man. So until next time, guys, Apple, Google, Spotify, Anchor, probably some other off-brand ones, wherever you find your podcast. We're on YouTube. Follow the YouTube channel. Follow our Instagram, the Open Task Podcast on Instagram. Interact, tell us you missed us. Tell us what your favorite episodes are so far. whatever you want to tell us. You know, we're here for it. You know, tough times we're living in, but we love you guys. And until next time, we are the Open Task Podcast, and we're out.